Okay, let's see here. I believe I have my screen recorder going. Yes, it's going. I have my audio going. And hello, hello, hello. Don't hug me, I'm scared. Yep, that's the video that's up. Ignore everything else. Everything else has nothing to do with what I'm doing today. I'm going to talk about Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. And before I start it, yeah, you can tell I've already watched through it once. I've watched through it more than that. I've watched it over and over. I'm trying to get my head around it. Okay, yeah, my mic's on. That would have been embarrassing if my mic hadn't been on this whole time and I'd just been talking to myself for no reason. But, okay, I kind of found out about it a long time ago on Tumblr because there were GIFs of it, but I was never actually able to find the video. Well, I started hearing about it again. Green isn't a creative color, green isn't a creative color, green isn't a creative color. So I typed in green isn't a creative color and Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared came up. Luckily. This time around you can tell I searched Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared because this time I knew the title of the video. The whole reason I couldn't find it before was because I didn't know the title of the video. I didn't know what it was called. And I didn't know that much about it. Well, now I've seen the whole thing. Now I understand it. And as you can see, there's a explained video. Yeah, I watched... Hold on. I watched that one. And that one. And part of that one, but that one has nothing to do with Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Well, except for it's made by the same people. But anyways, we're done with that now. Closing it out, because I don't need it anymore. And it didn't close. Anyways, so, yeah, that's basically how I've been with Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I've watched it quite a few times, over and over and over repeatedly. What makes me keep coming back for more? I don't know. It is the weirdest shit I have ever seen! And yet I keep watching it. Why? Except for the fact that I want to understand it. What makes me so obsessed with understanding it? Well, I'm going to talk to you about how I interpret it. But let's keep in mind, these kinds of videos are a type of art form. And everybody has different interpretations of art. My interpretation might be different than your interpretation. To some people, this is just some crazy, random, fucked up thing. To me, this has meaning. Like, how some people probably see the Mona Lisa as not that outstanding. Like, okay, the dude painted a girl and she has this mysterious looking smile and her eyes follow you. Okay, whatever. That's some people. While other people are like, oh my god, the Mona Lisa, I want to understand it. What? Tell me your secrets, Mona Lisa! So, yeah. I'm gonna start the video now. Don't know if you'll actually be able to, hear the audio from my speakers, but I'll probably be talking over it. I'll probably pause a lot, which will make this video longer than Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. And this little introduction, I guess, thing. Anyways, starting the video now. And I'm just gonna ignore those Skype messages. So, here we see the title. It looks fun and festive, except for the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. The right wing. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, I'm gonna back up. Gotta back up. Okay. Everybody talks about how this starts out looking like a normal kids' TV show, except for I noticed the right wing. Political things do not come up in kids' shows. They avoid them. To keep our minds from being like, hey, well, wait a minute. No, I don't want my kids watching this. Because there are people in the left wing who, if they saw that, would be like, no, and flip out. So, it starts a lot like a normal kids' show, but from the very beginning, if you pay attention, there are things that are messed up. Right from the very beginning. 6 seconds in, the right wing. there's something else I want to point out a little later. So, see, now you definitely have normal kid stuff. And then, back to something messed up. Knives. You don't usually see things like knives in a kids show. Normally, they would omit anything violent. So this is how we already know this is going to be messed up. Okay, if you don't know Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is messed up, because it is, then, well, you probably should have watched Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared without my commentary before watching it with my commentary. So, yeah. Anyways, back on topic. Gonna hit play again. Okay. Yeah, got all this simple, calm stuff, you know. Get creative. We have the bird, the whatever that thing is, and the human-looking thing. The Notebook. The Notebook. All of my theories revolve around the actions of the Notebook. The Notebook is what, or drawing pad or whatever, the Notebook is everything in this. Anything that matters, it revolves around the Notebook. Okay, now, the Notebook said, my favorite idea is being creative. And then they're like, how do you get the idea? I just think creatively. That line. Messed up already. Already messed up. That way of delivering it. It's like, well, how do you be creative? Well, I think creatively, that doesn't tell them how to be creative. Now saying, I use my imagination, would have been telling them how to be creative. So, and I didn't notice most of this stuff. Like, I didn't even think about that part until I started this. So, yeah. It's messed up. And this is basically how kids shows are. Except for they're a bit more subtle. Kids shows are just tiniest little bit more subtle about it. Not very, but just a little bit more. Okay, the Notebook is already defining the idea of what creativity is. It's like, well, I write all these fantastic stories. Anybody who knows me knows I write all kinds of things. But if I look at an orange, I'm going to see an orange. Okay? The Notebook is defining what creativity is. Like, okay, you don't see what I see? You're not thinking creatively. My God, fix it. Because there's definitely not other ways to be creative. It's all about the system. At least to me. Now, keep in mind, these are my opinions. This Notebook is defining everything that our media has become. Let me just continue on. Oh, and notice that one's human, that one's not, and that one's not. You have a bird, a human, and some weird thing. Anyways, we're going to move on now. Okay. The other video that I pointed out that I said I watched touched on this too, but the Notebook is like, I use my hair to express myself. Well, that sounds boring. Because some people don't want to express themselves through their hair. Some people want to express themselves other ways. And then the Notebook is like, I express myself through my hair. And look at his face. It's just like, no, this is the way it is. You do this. No, they don't find it exciting. And yet the notebook keeps pushing on that, which we'll see when I hit play again. Notice, okay, they see what the notebook sees as soon as the notebook holds up that little magnifying glass. I'm trying to avoid pronouns because it's a thing. It's a thing. No pronouns, whether it has a voice or not. I don't care. And also, they're talking in unison. They're all like, we all see this. One's not like, well, I see a cat, and then one's not, and then the other's not like, oh, I see a bat. No, the notebook is forcing them to all see the same thing, all conform, no originality in their creativity. See? All unison. I don't know if you can actually hear it, but... yeah, I'm sorry, but to me that says, give your brain to me. That's what that image says to me. Okay, see? Because using your brain to have a good time, that's an O. To me. Give your brain to me. That's what that says. That's what that says to me. And that's what the media does. It tries to take our young people's brains. I'm 15. I may be prejudiced. I don't care. I'm just saying what I think. But, hey, I don't know. Oh! As soon as one of them breaks from the notebook's idea of creativity and what the notebook is telling them and actually does something creative, oh no, you can't do that, and pours ink all over it. Notice it's the humanoid one. I personally think there's a whole pattern, because the notebook rags on the humanoid one the most. Like, she kind of, like, yeah, I'm gonna call the notebook a she. She kind of rags on the duck's bird thing for not seeing what she sees, and she stresses her point to the red thing, whatever it is. I'm not really sure. But the one that looks the most human gets the most shit from her. And everything pauses while she takes care of the problem. Okay. Notice the colors on this wheel. You have red, yellow, blue, that peaches color, and then I think that's brown or dark purple. Now, this comes into play. I swear it does. Red and blue are okay, because they were on the wheel that the notebook showed them. Green was not. Also, red and blue represent the Democratic and Republican parties. Red is Republican, blue is Democrat. Green often represents peace, harmony, and all things good. And she just squashed that. Yeah, I've determined that I'm calling the notebook a she. Yeah. Anyways. The notebook's like, no. No. You're doing things my way. That's how the notebook is. Okay, moving on. And notice the notebook has distanced itself from them pretty quickly. Like, okay, this is the last thing you need to know, and I'm getting away from you. Because here's where everything's about to go batshit insane. Notice there's a green part of the brain. Listen to the voices in your brain. Based on the whole green is not a creative color, I think that despite it not being said, the Notebook doesn't want them to listen to that part of their brain. Because there's a part of your brain that, as you grow up, you're expected to turn off. You're supposed to ignore that part of yourself, your brain. And so, so that symbolism there. Which, I don't know. Maybe not, but this is all my opinion, remember? Remember, I'm just voicing my opinion. Anyways, we're going to continue now. Oh, it's Innocent Crafts! Except for, a lot of kids feel like the only way they can be creative, like, they don't try and make up their own things, they do what, oh, hold on. They do what they're told is creative. And here is where we see that it's all being engineered. Also, the duck got bigger, that guy got bigger. That guy, I think he got bigger, I'm not really sure. But he was bigger than them all to begin with. And now here's where things get insane. And everything's breaking loose, there's organs and stuff. And there's... hold on, let me rewind. Okay. But yeah, see, everything's going crazy because they're in their teenage years now, where they disobey and whatnot. There's the Notebook laughing at them. The Notebook's like, haha, I got you to do what I wanted! I've managed to control you! And yet you don't know it. And none of them see the Notebook during this sequence, none of them talk to the Notebook during this sequence. They don't notice the Notebook during this sequence. It's like how a lot of people don't put two and two together, that when we're kids, we're programmed. Like computers. I know that, but anyways. And also, it really shows that what you watch typically affects how you grow up. Like, for me, when I was a kid, I either watched what my parents put on for me, like Sesame Street and stuff, but more often than not, I sat down and watched what they watched. My dad was watching Hogan's Heroes. I'm like, alright, Hogan's Heroes! Plop down on the couch, laugh at the jokes about stupid Germans and stuff. And I'm part German, so it's okay. No. But, like, I'd laugh at the jokes they made and whatnot. And I laughed at jokes that weren't necessarily aimed for kids. They were, I mean, Hogan's Heroes is a family show. Let's keep that in mind. But I laughed at the stuff that wasn't designed just to keep a 5-year-old or 6-year-old or 4-year-old's brain happy. I laughed at stuff that parents could laugh at, too. My dad would watch Jeopardy every night. And if I wanted to watch something, I would sit down and I would watch Jeopardy with him, and I learned. And I learned things that often isn't even taught in school at all. I've noticed that. Like, as I've gotten older, I'm like, well, hey, I know this from Jeopardy, when are we going to be taught about it in school? And it never got taught. Same with Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? Like, some of that stuff I never learned in a classroom. So, yeah, that explains how I turned out, which is, I don't know. I'm pretty good off, I think. I'm doing pretty well, I think. Anyways, back to the thing. So, this shows that, yes, what you watch and grew up with as a little kid can affect you. But not always negatively the stuff that people think. Like, when I was 7, I was playing Baldur's Gate. That's rated T. And I'm okay. I'm not a violent person. I mean, sure, I kind of yell at my friends sometimes and whatnot, but I'm not as bad off as people say that kids who play violent video games are gonna be when they get older. Well, no, it's not always like that. Because my parents made sure that I knew there was a difference between video games and reality. That's the problem. You need to make sure that people know the difference between fictional stuff and reality. Anyways, let's get back to this because I think I'm getting off topic. Yeah, oh, give me a slice of that heart cake. Death. And the Notebook absolutely avoids them during the sequence. And then it's like, let's all agree to never be creative again. And the Notebook's abrupt, okay, now let's all agree to never be creative again, and boom, I'm gone without giving them a chance to respond. It's like basically how the shows hammer in their message, hammer in their message, hammer in their message, but never really give you a chance to think about it. They hammer it in, hammer it in, hammer it in without stopping, and I think that's it. After this, it's just credits. So that's me talking about Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. It's full of symbolism that can be interpreted however you want. To some people, maybe this is just some kind of fucked up acid trip, but I don't care. I see the symbolism in it. Well, I see symbolism. I don't know if there's actually symbolism or not, but because, I mean, it's entirely possible that someone was just like, hey, let's make something creepy and weird and messed up, and let's see what we can come up with. But I don't think that's what happened. I think there's symbolism in there. If other people don't want to see symbolism in it, well, that's not my problem. They can see whatever they want. But that's what I see. That's how I feel about it. And I'm going to cut off my audio before I cut off the video, and hopefully I won't have just some random silence. But I don't know. I'm going to try and work this out to the best of my abilities. This is Koneko Niigata, and I'm going to sign off. That was Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, and my interpretations of it. Okay, let's see here. I believe I have my screen recorder going. Yes, it's going.